Home Tour Podcast. This is episode 38. Today, we get to know our gals a little bit more. Last week, it was all about me and Christian. This week, it's all about Payton and Megan. Oh, but I'm Tyler Willis Media, and I'm going to kick it over to Payton. What you got going on nowadays?
Hey guys, it's Payton with Payton Peoples and Company, Keller Williams Realty Atlanta Partners. Megan
with CrossCountry Mortgage out of Peachtree City, aka your hats and homes girl, but no hats.
Yeah.
Christian.
Oh, hat today, though.
Christian at CrossCountry Mortgage in Peachtree City, aka
Jaeger bombs.
That's right. Oh,
Mom boy.
Retired party king. Retired party king. But yeah, like we talked about last week, you got to know me and Christian a little bit more. But this week, we're going to get to know Megan and Payton a little bit more. So, Megan, what all did you do before this wild industry that we're in?
Let's see. Grew up actually in Missouri, Lake of the Ozarks. We all have, a lot of people have teeth, and we did not sell cocaine out of Bibles. We'll just start there. Yeah.
Were you close to the College of the Ozarks by chance?
C of O? Yeah, that's in Springfield, actually. Springfield, Missouri.
Wife went to college.
What? I didn't know this.
Small world. Getting
Holy
smaller.
cow.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. And that's later, but I actually lived there for 5 years. Went to high school at the lake, went to college at University of Central Missouri, which is close to Kansas City and Warrensburg. And then moved to Kansas City right after college to work for a marketing company because I was a marketing major. I hated it. So I had friends and family in San Diego. So I was like, sure, I'll come do hair and makeup for corporate video. That sounds like fun. So 2009, moved from Kansas City to Ocean Beach, San Diego, and talk about apartments like last time with Christian. Lived in a crap hole, but it was a block and a half from the ocean, and half the rent.
Who cares?
Yeah, half the rent was $1,300, I think. So there was no AC. It hadn't been maintenance in I don't know how long, but like,
oh my gosh,
old ass cabinets, everything. But literally, you did not need air conditioning. You opened the windows, and it was a block and a half. So it was beautiful. Did corporate hair and makeup, put powder and hairspray on Morgan Stanley executives long enough to where I got tired of it. But it was like 4 a.m. call times. We'd work till 10 p.m. at night. And then we go do what Christian did. We went to the bars after. But 2009 is also when marketing took its biggest hit in the economy as well. So started working less and making less and less money. Actually got an opportunity back at the Lake of the Ozarks with Ralph Lauren as their operations manager because I had done retail before through college, like all 4 years, and did that for 2 years, and then moved to Springfield, Missouri, where C of O is. And I worked for Dillard's for most of that time as a business manager over the lingerie department. Not as exciting.
I knew we were going to push it.
People think it's glamorous. No, you were literally shoving 90-year-old ladies like parts into clothing. But I mean, it was rewarding. Like, and they were the sweetest people. Met my husband in 2014, when Tinder was launched.
Hey, you swiped right, baby.
Yeah. He was working for Meineke Corporate doing a visit to 2 of his shops in Springfield, Missouri. And nobody knew how it worked yet. And it matched you on GPS. And it had just come out. And so we were matched, started talking, whatever, and did not realize at the time that he lived in Kentucky, and he did not realize that I lived in Springfield, Missouri. And so 2 days later, I'm like, it says you're 240 some miles away, or 400, whatever it was, miles away. Like, where are you? Are you traveling for work? He goes, no, aren't you in Kentucky? I said, no. So I was like, this is done, whatever. But 2 weeks later, he drove down 9 hours each way to take me to dinner. So
90 miles an hour. She's home alone.
9 hours one way. And then 3 months later, I moved to Kentucky for him. And then I'm trying to think, when did he got a job opportunity out of Kentucky to Georgia, or no, sorry, to Illinois, St. Louis. And I was like, great, that's like halfway between my family and yours. Let's do it. And so we lived in Belleville, Illinois, which is right outside of St. Louis on the Illinois side, for a year and a half. And then he got an opportunity in Georgia with a private equity firm that owned a bunch of Meineke's and Makos. And so we moved to Georgia. And then a year later, he got another opportunity back in Illinois. So we moved back to O'Fallon, Illinois. And then I was like, this is not going to be forever. Let's go back. We loved it in Georgia enough to where he found a step up of a position. I was able to transfer back and forth at this time, which was nice because I was with Regions as a banker on that side. And then the year we decided to move back to Georgia for good, I got into the mortgage industry. So that was fun, going from a bunch of people you knew to starting over in a whole new state. But
another feeling.
But since we've been here, we had 2 kids, lost 2 miscarriages, 2 kids, and then we moved from Sharpsburg to Peachtree City and literally love it. Our kids are ate up with the golf carts and like everything else. So we're done moving. I'm done moving. I was a preacher's kid and I was like, I'm not ever going to do this to my kid. And look at what I did.
You just did it to yourself. You haven't done it to your kids.
Yeah. That's true. Like they just got to like, oh, look, new house, mom. But yeah, we love it here. We'll never leave. But yeah, I went from retail to corporate makeup to retail again, and then banking before I did mortgage. So I'm not even using my degree.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We get it.
But yeah.
Cool. Okay, I do have a question.
Yeah.
So why mortgage? What interested you, like, from all your varied other jobs, what made you go, let's try out what this industry looks like?
We purchased our first home with Kara. Shout out to Kara, even though she's not with CrossCountry. She was with Regions for, I think, like 12 years, Regions Mortgage. And she did our first mortgage. And she was amazing. And I just wanted to literally do what she did because she loved everything about it. And then I met with her multiple times talking about what it entailed and everything. And the fact that you got to help people into homes or figure out ways to get them into a house if they've been told no, and you think outside of the box. That's what she did. And I loved the idea of being able to help people like that.
Cool.
And the banking side was changing big time. They went from helping people to let's make a sale. And that's not just Regions. That's
every industry. Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Payton, our local girl.
Here I am.
Here you are, still here in this area. So you don't have, I know you moved away briefly and then came right back. So like, what's your journey from local to gone to back to local?
So in 1987, the year of our Lord, I was born there.
Yes.
But I say this all the time, but you never think you're going to move back to your hometown. You graduate high school, you think you're going to move away and go do your own thing, right? I never thought that I would be back in Peachtree City. But it's funny how things work out. So I was born in Peachtree City, raised in Fayette County, lived in Peachtree City when I was really little. And then when I was like 4 or 5, we moved to Fayetteville, lived there in one house. And then we built like my parents' dream home. We call that our pool house. That's the one that we had a pool and we were like, this is amazing. Lived in that house, which is also in Fayetteville. And then my parents got divorced and whole world changed. And my mom did not want to completely disrupt my life. So because I was in high school at this point. And so we knew that I was going to have to move high schools, but she didn't want me to have to completely start all over, making new friends and all of that in a different county. So she was like, I'm going to buy the cheapest house I can in Peachtree City and get you as close to the people that you know as possible. So we moved to the south side of Peachtree City, and I switched high schools my sophomore year, and then I graduated from Stars Mill. Right after I graduated, I have a younger sister who is 8 years younger than me, and then 2 step siblings who are the exact same age as my sister. So my mom had all of them to worry about. And so as soon as I graduated from high school, during that summer, while I'm getting ready to go to college, they moved to Noonan. I took that as an opportunity. Now, I'm the youngest. I'm always the youngest in my group of friends, everything. I'm an August baby. When I started kindergarten, I had been 5 for 2 weeks. So, I'm always the baby. So when I graduated high school, I was 17. My very first day of college, I turned 18. Happy 18th birthday to me. So I was raised very, very involved in the church. That was like my saving grace with my parents' divorce and everything when I was little. Those were my best friends. Those people were my family and directed a lot of how my life looked in my late teens, early 20s. So when I got to the University of West Georgia, I immediately was like, I have to find my people. I need to find people like them. Those are the only kinds of people that I like. A complete 180 from Christian's experience. I'm coming from a background of what you might consider to be like the goody two-shoes child. Partied, never drank, never cussed, never anything. Completely different than who you know now. There was a lot of life lived in college and made some bad friends, gotten some bad situations for me, and had to learn a lot like that first semester.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was in Carrollton, which that's a stone's throw away from home. But my parents dropped me off with no car, and they were like, have fun. Make Carrollton your new home. And this was in 2005. So this wasn't like, if you're familiar with Carrollton now or what Carrollton is like or the University of West Georgia is like now, not the same. We are not the same. There was nothing. You were stuck on campus. There was nowhere to go.
Yep.
So I deliberately sought out opportunities to make friends at the Baptist Student Union, even though I wasn't Baptist, and
the Presbyterian. I did the same.
Helped form a faith-based sorority on campus. Just anything that I could do to help find my people.
Yep.
My sophomore year of college, I met my now husband. I was 19. And to continue on the who the hell is Payton? Didn't know about this. We didn't date. We courted.
Duggar style?
Duggar style. Like, did not have...
Oh, dang.
Like, we had, like, rules. Like, couldn't say I love you, couldn't hold hands, couldn't, none of that. So, it's a wild story. So that was us. We courted for a year and a half. I was not allowed. I was very fortunate that my grandparents had set aside a good chunk of money for me to help pay for college. But my grandfather's rule was you were not allowed to get married while I'm paying for college. So you're going to finish your education before you get married. I courted my now husband for a year and a half. We got engaged. We were engaged for a year. I worked my ass off and I took 21 to 28 hours of credits a semester in order to graduate on time so that I could get married 2 weeks later. So we got married in 2009. He was finishing up nursing school. So I actually graduated before him, even though he's 2 years older than me. And then he graduated in December. I have a degree in Sociology and Mass Communications, and I don't use my degree at all. There's a lot of the psychology stuff behind it of like how society works together and like how groups of people think and why they do things the way that they do that I think I subconsciously use a lot. But like typically if you have a degree in sociology, you're doing some kind of social work. Not me. My background.
Maybe.
I worked in radio and TV. I did spend my entire undergraduate career working in undergraduate admissions. So I was like the tour guide, the ambassador. Like I was the person that showed you around school, answered your questions, My senior year, I was a admissions counselor. So I was in that like sales position of specifically like selling the school, and I loved it. Right after, I maybe had been graduated for a year, I decided I wanted to go back and get my master's, higher education, because I wanted to work in the college field. At the time, it was a brand new program, and it was getting a lot of delays with getting off the ground. And ultimately, Andrew and I were like, we were also considering starting a family. So are you going to do a 2-year graduate program, or are we going to start a family? And we decided to start our family. So I decided not to go to graduate school, even though I got in. Then I spent the next 7 years as a stay-at-home mom. So I did a lot of side work. I did a lot of marketing and sales and stuff from home. I worked for a PR company from home super early in the mornings before my kids would wake up. My kids are 19 months apart. It was fun. But now they're 13 and 11. So when they were both old enough to be in school full time, get them both in kindergarten, I started thinking, what can I do for me? And at that time, I had been working on the side for a lot of real estate agents, helping them with their marketing and their everything they need, because a lot of people just don't know how to do that side of sales. So I was being hired on a case by case, working when I could, and built a lot of relationships that way. And at that point, we had bought and sold 2 houses and did not have great experience either time. And I just knew I love this industry. I love people. I love the sales aspect of it, doesn't stress me out. So I should get my real estate license. How hard could that be? I have a college degree. The hardest damn thing I've ever done in my life. Took the test 12 times because fuck you. And finally passed. And I tell people all the time, that test has nothing to do with your ability to be a good agent. It doesn't teach you anything about working in the field. It literally is just the step you have to take in order to get your license. If you were determined to do it, keep going, keep at it. And that's what I did. And now I'm one of the top agents in the Atlanta area. So I love what I do. My husband is a nurse practitioner now. So for 2.5 years while he was in nurse practitioner school and working full time, I was the breadwinner, because there was a good chunk of time that he wasn't able to work full time. He was just working when he could, because there's a whole like 8 months of nurse practitioner school that you basically have to work for free. That was amazing. I've been in a lot of positions where I didn't have a choice. I had to succeed. I had to figure it out. And that's what drives me to do a lot of the things that I do now. So
grind.
That's right. There was no other choice. Yeah. So now I just continue that, but I'm trying to learn better boundaries, because we're now in the situation of it doesn't have to be that way. So trying to unlearn some of those things is hard, but I've had a lot of really cool opportunities. I've met a lot of really cool people along the way, and we've all kind of talked about how all of us fell together, but it's just very cool to look back and see how everybody's stories brought us to where we are now.
Ooh,
it's wild.
And when we moved from Illinois to Georgia the last time, Payton is the first agent I met. We reached, I don't remember how we found.
It was on, Facebook.
Wine.
She was literally the first agent I met coming here, and we had lunch at Grand Wines.
Yep, we did. Yep. And then once I knew Megan, once Christian came on with her, she introduced me to Christian. And at that point, Tyler and Christian had already had their car experience. So it was just a matter of time before everyone fell together so beautifully.
And then this all started one day when we had coffee at Foxtail. We were like, we want to share stories of this crazy world that we're all in.
That's right. That's right.
But it's so back up one step. So you were in Peachtree City was it Whitewater at the time? And then you moved to Stars Mill, or were you on the other side in Fayetteville?
So I was on the other. So here's the list of Fayette County schools that I have attended.
Oh, geez.
Hood Avenue, Fayette Elementary, Kedron Elementary, Flat Rock Middle School, Sandy Creek High School, Stars Mill High School.
Yeah. So you've seen a little bit of the whole county.
The whole county, all of them.
Wow.
So when I was in high school, Whitewater didn't exist. Whitewater opened the year after I graduated. So most of the kids who go to Whitewater now or who are districted for that area were districted for Stars Mill at the time. So they basically split Stars Mill schools to be able to form Whitewater's district. But yeah, I feel like I've seen almost every space of the educational space in Fayette County. I experienced it myself. And then we moved back as a family. We were in Noonan when my kids were little, and we were going to build a house in Coweta County. A terrible experience with our lender who basically screwed us out of that opportunity. And that truly was the catalyst of why I was like, if this dumbass can be in this industry, anybody can do it.
I love it.
So that's what really pushed me to start making the relationships and building the relationships with people that I did and start doing the things that I did. But we moved back to Peachtree City in 2017 when my youngest was ready to start kindergarten. So here we are.
See, you got into this industry because you saw somebody that was doing a crappy job and still making a living. And then I did the same thing because I saw a bunch of agents taking $1 million listings with cell phones. And so I was like, I got to figure this out.
That's right. That's right.
Then Megan and Christian got into this industry because they were also like, hey, I like numbers. I like this. And so that's why I constantly tell everybody, just because you go to college doesn't mean you're going to use that education. Like use it as an opportunity to learn something, but keep it open. Keep it open.
I'm always grateful for my experience. I wouldn't have met my husband if I hadn't gone to college. There's a reason for all the things that you do and your story, right? But yeah, it has affected the way that I parent for sure, because I am absolutely not going to force my children to choose that they have to go to college. There's a million things that they can do without the hassle of that, honestly.
The Burt loan debt.
That's right. That's right.
Scott, my husband never went to college, and here he is making more.
Yeah, right. Like Megan's husband makes more money than my husband, who's in healthcare. So but story of our lives in Peachtree City. That's people ask, what are the most like popular industries that people work in our area? And it's typically like healthcare. So like doctors of some kind, Delta pilots.
Yeah.
And a lot of the pilots in our area have some kind of military background. They were in the military and then got out of the military and started flying for Delta because we're a huge Delta hub here. And then there's a lot of like contractor jobs, not like a general contractor. Like and when I ask, and it's typically husbands, and when I ask, what do you do? They're like, oh, I push papers. And I'm like, and you make $500,000. And they're like, yeah, you like
push papers.
Like they're like the middleman between people. They're just like, oh yeah, like I'll schedule this appointment, I'll set up this appointment, like I'll do this, let's go have a drink, let's go socialize. There's a lot, right? That's right up your alley. So there's a lot of those consulting type of jobs.
And the last episode with Christian here as a mortgage officer.
Right.
New change of industry.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So that's going to wrap this episode, guys. I hope you've now we're humans. We're fun. Every Tuesday, we got a new episode every Tuesday, especially now that we're going to be going into the holidays. Like we'll still have new content out. So don't feel like you got to just wait until we come back. No, every Tuesday you'll have something in your ears or in your face. That's how I'm going to close out every episode from now on. But anyways, love you guys. Y'all have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you on Tuesday.
Peace out. Bye.
Bye.